Controversial and extremely confronting Leaving Neverland, which aired over the weekend. Channel 10 Friday and Saturday night. It was the two-part documentary series that we'd heard about from Sundance Film Festival, and being a big Michael Jackson fan, I wanted to see this because I wanted to see if there was exaggeration.
Okay, well, we're getting quite a few calls. We're going to continue this. If you saw it last night, and what were your thoughts on it? 13, 24, 10, are you a huge Michael Jackson fan? Did it change your thoughts on that? We've got a caller that's come through, actually, who wrote a book about Michael Jackson and met him in 1996, but we're going to get those calls on next. We are talking about the documentary which aired on Channel 10 Friday and Saturday night, which was Leaving Neverland, which would be up on 10 Play now, wouldn't?
I think it is.
Look, and it was the topic of conversation over the weekend. Everyone was talking about it. Mandy and Wollongong, what did the documentary do for you, Mandy?
I'm still not convinced anything went on, because why all of a sudden have they just come out? Why not 9 years ago, or even 5 years ago? Why didn't they come out then and say anything?
Mandy, it's a great question. And, I said to Tommy before, what do you know about why now and why the Sundance Film Festival film? Why did they do this for this film? And Forbes have just published an article. God, what do you know and what do you believe in? But saying that Robson and the other bloke also, Safechuck, they filed for a $1.5 billion civil lawsuit against Jackson in 2013, which was thrown out. Yeah. They have no money and they're angry. And this film festival came along, and this film, but that's why I was thinking, if someone rings you out of the blue saying, "Hey, I want to make a film. Can you tell your story about Michael Jackson?"
Yeah, but they're not getting paid for
they're getting nothing.
Nothing. They get nothing now,
so
nothing in the future.
All they want is their story to be told.
Yeah.
But is it out of spite and anger?
Were they paid over the years hush money though? Because wasn't there an article that was brought out that the FBI investigated? There was about $23 million that were paid out to kids to keep their mouths shut.
Apparently so. Apparently.
Paul has given us a call. Now, Paul, you wrote a book on Michael Jackson, is that correct?
That's correct.
So you obviously met him, Paul. What year was that?
I met Michael in 96 here in Melbourne.
Okay, and did that start out of you being a Michael Jackson fan?
Yeah, I was a fan of his music back then in the 90s, and ended up researching him for a book that I wrote a couple of years ago called Humanitarian, The Real Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And found a lot of information about all the things he did on a daily basis. And even after watching the documentary on the weekend, I was even more so sure that he didn't do it and he's innocent and these guys are out for money.
Interesting. I mean, it was strange, Paul, the graphic detail that seemed to match up with each of the story. I think that's what threw me the most.
Yeah, and these guys both share the same lawyer as well. That's worth noting.
Yeah, but Paul, where are they getting money from? Because if they're not being paid to be part of the doco, it's not exactly some sort of association that gets you an endorsement or a deal or a concert or whatever these guys do for a living now. Where on earth are they getting financial benefit from this?
Well, I know Wade Robson set up a charity account of his own. I don't know if there's been any donations by the director, Dan Reed, put into that account. There's questions about that. But they've also been on a big media run, through the United States and London. They are being paid for interviews. And they are still trying to sue the Michael Jackson estate for hundreds of millions of dollars.
How did you get to meet Michael Jackson, Paul?
I was just a fan at the hotel. I was out the front of the hotel. We stopped out the front and for a week, and that was a lot of fun with a heap of fans. And Michael came down after the media would all go. He'd come out of the hotel and shake everyone's hand and say hello and have a chat and give out gifts and that sort of thing. It was a lot of fun.
And Paul, when you were writing the book back then, obviously there were still rumours about back then, and
yeah. Look, there's always been rumours, but if FBI investigated Michael for over 10 years, and those documents are all online accessible. They were monitoring his phone calls. They tapped his phones. They had surveillance inside his house and everywhere he went. And after a 10-year investigation, they found that nothing had happened. And they're the most resourceful organisation in the world. It's hard to argue with that. With two people that have just got a story.
And you're right, when you say this, Paul, I stand here as a fan and I'm wanting to believe that he's innocent. I'm trying everything to believe he's innocent, but after seeing this documentary on the weekend, I just don't know how I can believe in the Michael Jackson that I thought I was a fan of.
fair enough. And I'm hearing that a lot. You got to understand, this documentary is just two people's story. It's not backed up by any facts. And, you know, we're living in a post-Me Too world at the moment where someone can accuse anybody of anything, and it's almost their word is their evidence.
Yep.
But Michael's not here to protect himself, so what we've got to do is look back at these characters, look at their motivation, and look back at their history, and do a bit of research and look into that, because Michael's not here to protect himself.
I want to believe you're right, Paul.
Well, we appreciate your time, Paul. Thank you very much for your call. I mean, this is an issue that has divided everybody. I suppose, but I suppose you've got to watch the documentary and make your mind up for yourself.
Yeah,
Thank
do.
you very much to everyone who rang into the program.